I'm watching the movie Run, right? I am going to have spoilers in this video. So if you have not watched the movie, just know that I recommend this movie if you like suspense movies. And if you like, what the fuck is her name? Sarah Paulson. She plays a great crazy person in this movie. And so it's about a girl who was born with all of these issues, paralysis, a heart condition, she was diabetic, she had asthma, all these things. And so the mom had to take care of her from, obviously, from birth, but she raised her like to be a teenager, and she was like paralyzed in a wheelchair, and you know, she had to take certain medicines and things like that. And so the mom was like in the support group with other mothers, you know, some people who had lost kids. I guess they were talking about being a parent of a special needs child. And so she was like the only one that everybody else was like, oh my God, they're about to go to college. I can't believe this. I don't have to do this anymore. And they were kind of sad about it. And this lady was just like, she's the most capable person I know. So fast forward, she goes home. The girl is waiting for college acceptance letters, and she keeps telling her that when they come, I'll just let you open them. The girl starts to notice the medicine she was taking was actually prescribed to her mom. So she started looking up the medicine. Her mom had the house rigged where she couldn't really call out. She couldn't internet search or anything like that. And she ended up calling a random number and having them Google the medicine to find out that the color that they said that they saw in the Google image search wasn't the color of the medicine that she was taking. So she got her mom to take her to the movies. And while they were at the movies, she said she had to go to the bathroom, and she snuck out to go to the pharmacy. Went through this whole song and dance with the pharmacist to find out what the medicine was. Come to find out, it was medicine from the pet store. It was a muscle relaxer for animals, and she'd been giving it to her, I'm guessing, so that her legs stay numb. So, you know, we're going along in the movie. We find out this shit just like she is. Her mother had locked her in the room after that pharmacy incident. She tried to escape. She tied together some ropes, got a blanket, heaved herself outside onto the roof, low crawled all the way, like not even low crawl because she couldn't use her legs, but she dragged her body all the way across the roof. Yeah, it's a movie, so she really didn't do that, but just to think about a person doing that, like, that's a lot of goddamn energy to be wasting. But anyway, she dragged herself all the way across to another room, which was, I guess, her mom's room, and she had a mouthful of water. She had put a mouthful of water in her mouth before she did that. So all this time she dragging herself without having to swallow this water. She had a heated screwdriver, stabbed the glass cracked. She spit the water on it. The glass kind of came to a point where she could break it. She got in there, went back. Mind you, she has asthma, so by the time she got back to her room, she definitely needed that asthma pump. Anyway, she was able to get out. Her mom had like unconnected the wheelchair lift and everything, so she couldn't put her wheelchair on there. So she threw her wheelchair over the lift, and then she fell over the lift, and then her toe started to move. So she saw that kind of thing happening. So anyway, she gets out. She's wheeling up the street. The mail truck comes. She stops him, and she gets him to agree to take her to the police. But wouldn't you know it, in true movie fashion, her mom rolls up. So mom rolls up, plays this whole song and dance, tries to manipulate the guy like, you're a man. You expect me to believe that you, a man, found my young daughter and all beaten up and bruised, and you're gonna tell me that she said I hurt her? And he didn't fall for it though. He didn't fall for it. He was like, well, I just can't let her go. Go with you. I have to take her to the hospital. So he asked the girl if he wanted to go to the hospital. She wanted to go to the hospital or the police. She said the police. By the time he got her rigged up, the mom was like, oh, well, you mind if I just follow you guys to the hospital? It's like, sure. And she goes to the trunk where she had like a first aid kit with a gun in it. But she didn't grab the gun. She grabbed one of those tranquilizing needles that she used on the girl in the pharmacy to make her fall out. Stabbed him in the neck. Took the daughter back to the house and put her in the basement. So while she was in the basement, she found out that her mom had been hiding all of these open college acceptance letters in like the trash pretty much. So she had gotten into all these colleges. Her mom didn't tell her. Then she goes on to find a death certificate, and it had her name on it. And so the baby only lived for 2 hours. and some change. And then she found a newspaper clipping of another family talking about their baby was snatched from the hospital. Come to find out, she had lost her baby, and she was standing in front of the nursery looking at all the other babies that were born and had survived. And this bitch snatched a baby from the hospital and raised it as her own. That little girl could probably walk, talk, everything. Wasn't nothing probably wrong with her. But she gave her all these different medicines to make it seem like she was sick. The little girl grew up thinking she was sick and couldn't walk, had to live her life in a wheelchair. First of all, it's a lot to be said about the fact that she was able to do that. People that live like that, those people are strong as hell. Like, they have to do, like when she escaped from the room, she did all of that to get away, and then she didn't even get away. But like, stuff like that should motivate people who don't have any ailments to do whatever they want to do. Anyway, she basically been poisoning this girl since she had her, just to keep her needing her. And so the little girl was able to scoot herself into a closet and drink something to make her call 911, so she had to go to the hospital. I would recommend this movie. The mom was trying to get her out early, and they were like, no, we have to keep her in situations like this, blah, blah, blah. She tied her up, and she rode her through the hospital, and eventually they caught up to her right before she was about to get up. The little girl's legs start working, as we probably all predicted. She put her leg down so that her mom couldn't move the wheelchair. So then she goes in front of her to say something to her. That's when security rolls up, tells her to drop the gun. She raises the gun at them. They shoot her in the shoulder, but she was standing at the top of a very large staircase. How convenient. She fell all the way down, and she was in a pool of blood, but it looks like she survived. And the little girl is now going to visit her monthly in like I don't even want to say it's a detention center. It must be like some kind of hospital or something. She had to go through the metal detector, and she can walk a little bit now with a cane. It's 7 years later at this point. And she tells her all about everything that's going on with her and her family. I guess she had a baby and things like that. And right at the very end, she swishes around in her mouth and comes out with this wrapped up group of pills. The same pills that her mom was giving her. Tells her she loves her and says, open wide. Bitch. I did not see that coming. Overall, I think it was a good movie. Shit, it was good to me. If you watched it, let me know what you thought of it. Leave your comments down below. Bye.